Thanks so much joining the JICC seminar on the nuclear power, lessons from Japan to Estonia. My name is Kazuo Kishida from JICC. I will chair these seminars. And the purpose, first of all, I would like to the background of this seminar. As the energy crisis and concerns over the environmental growth and energy security from Russia military aggression against Ukraine has become more important. So there's the interest in implementation in nuclear energy in many countries. Okay? Knowledge is the very vital part of the making the informed decision. Japan has long-term experiences in the nuclear power. Then we can provide its knowledge based on the extensive experience which nuclear evacuating countries in nuclear power in Estonia. So move to the let's introduce overview of the seminars. The Japanese expert provide basic and specific topics on the nuclear power. That is the introduction to nuclear engineering, benefits of the nuclear power introduction, nuclear safety, and the nuclear security. And then the Estonian expert introduced the necessity of the nuclear power in Estonia. There is the need, will, and the solution. Finally, to make a decision on the challenges in nuclear power involving the audience here. And then finally, I want to secure the time for the question and answer during each presentation in physical. In addition to the physical question, you can make a question using the chat to this QR code there, okay? QR there. In using your smartphone, okay? So let's move to the opening remarks here. Just a moment. Okay. So sorry. So let me introduce first from the Estonian side, Mr. Meelis Münt, Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment and then Chair of the Government Nuclear Energy Working Group. Mr. Münt, please.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. Dear organizers, Mr. Ambassador, or participants, it's my great honor to welcome you on this two-day event organized with JICC in cooperation with Fermi Energia. I think this is a very topical question we are discussing in these 2 days. And as we are aware of, Japan has a lot of competence and very versatile and long-term knowledge on nuclear energy. And in order to share these competencies with their good partners, it is essential for everybody. So therefore, we are indeed very grateful to JICC that you have brought your experts, organizations to Estonia in order to share your knowledge with us, to teach us so we can learn from you. Given our common goal in reducing CO2 emissions and pursuing climate neutrality by mid-century, but even more important, I would say, is this ever-increasing need for energy security and providing security of supply. I think we must consider all options in order to achieve that. And therefore, sustainable energy production will be the key topic in near future in order to how we can really secure energy security, how we can provide security of supplies in terms of energy, but also how we can really achieve our climate targets and also environmental targets. So the nuclear energy definitely could provide a good ground in order to achieve all of those targets, and therefore we must consider nuclear energy as one of the options also to introduce here in Estonia. But also these challenging times, it is essential that good partners like Japan and Estonia work together. I have very good memories working together with the Japanese government 10 years ago when there were carbon credit trades involved. And I have very good memories because the work habits, the work methods Japanese are providing, I think this is a very useful and very essential also for Estonians to learn from. And the way that you are working, this is really exemplary. But what is the situation here in Estonia in terms of electricity production? We are still heavily dependent on oil shale, and the government has taken a political decision to phase out oil shale for electricity production 2035 the latest. So we really have to think what will be the alternatives to oil shale. And of course, the renewables are one of the options and primary options with the storage facilities. But we also need stable and dispatchable electricity production and electricity facilities. So therefore, also nuclear energy is one of the options the government is currently analyzing, and this is the duty or mandate given to nuclear energy working group. And of course, nuclear energy could provide all of those main trilemmas for electricity or energy production, because one of the targets is environmental concerns that could nuclear energy provide, because this is carbon neutral. Also, the electricity production must be affordable, not cheap, but affordable to consumers. And also, nuclear energy could provide security of supply, as I said before. So therefore, all those main elements, what the electricity production should provide, can be achieved via introducing nuclear energy. Of course, there are many aspects which needs to be analyzed very thoroughly. Of course, the question about how to handle the spent fuel, what is the perception of society, how you can engage the society, because there are fears, there are concerns from the society side, how you can really manage the nuclear energy program in Estonia, in a country which has no previous history in terms of nuclear energy. We have no research reactors. So it is important that we can really substantially provide evidence that we are able and capable of running nuclear energy here in Estonia. And therefore, in order to analyze whether we are capable of introducing nuclear energy here in Estonia, the government has decided to form or establish a nuclear energy working group. And this is really a broad working group. This is interministerial working group. There are participants for almost from all ministries. Only Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Rural Affairs are missing, but all other major ministries are involved in this work. So it really provides evidence that the government is really taking its job seriously. And the aim is to provide a report. The first interim report will be provided to the government by September this year, in order to have a first discussion at government level to see how we are working, what will be the first findings of the work. And the main aim is to provide a comprehensive report following International Atomic Energy Agency's milestones by the end of next year. And if the government and the parliament will take a decision in principle to go for the nuclear energy program, then of course this will be the subject for further discussion, but the aim is to establish a nuclear energy power plant in Estonia around 2035. Of course, remains question whether it can be done a bit faster or it takes more time, but let's say we have, for us, set kind of a deadline that around 2035 it might be achievable or doable. And in order to provide also an extra guarantee that government is taking its job seriously, last month government made a decision to expedite our work. It gave extra funding in order to carry out extra studies faster than previously anticipated or foreseen. So it provides us a possibility to work a bit faster. And therefore, we are quite optimistic that we are able to live up to the expectations by the government to provide a final report to the government by the end of next year. And so then the whole work is for the parliament to have a debate, either to decide whether they want to have a referendum or not, and then to take a decision in principle whether to go ahead or not with the nuclear energy program here in Estonia. And to conclude, I would just say that we are extremely happy that we are not alone in this journey. We have seen a lot of attention, a lot of willingness from different partners to associate with us, to work very closely with us, to collaborate with us, to share their knowledges, their expertise, and we have really received a lot of support from their side as well. So we are really keen to hear your experiences, to see how you are managing your nuclear energy program in Japan. And I hope that these 2 days will be really, really fruitful, and there will be a very good discussions. So to conclude, I'm wishing all of us a very good 2 days seminar, and thank you once again for visiting Estonia. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mr. Münt. And for the opening remarks from Japan side, I would like to invite His Excellency Ambassador Mr. Yukihiko Matsumura.
Good morning. Telehomikus, the guests and the speakers, I'd like to congratulate the JICC on hosting the seminar on nuclear power today. It is my pleasure and honor to have the opportunity to extend my greetings to the organizers of this event and to all the guests who are here for this event. In 2021, Japan and Estonia celebrated the 100th anniversary of friendship. Moreover, the visits to Estonia of former Prime Minister Abe Shinzo in 2018, the former Foreign Minister Motegi Toshimitsu last year have deepened the strong ties between the two countries even further. While the Japan-Estonia partnership has been strengthened, I believe that there is also a potential for economic cooperation, especially in the energy sector. In light of the situation of Japan's fossil fuel, the dependency rate is extremely high at 85%. The Japanese government made the declaration of carbon neutrality in October of the year before last. Environmental measures are not economic constraints, but the key to socio-economic transformation, promotion of investment, improvement of productivity, major transitions in industrial structure, and the strong growth. From now on, Japan is going to take a bold step forward. On the other hand, Estonia has been heavily dependent on oil shale, a type of the fossil fuel, but is aiming to break away from this dependency and thus has set a goal of stopping the use of oil shale throughout the energy sector by the year 2040. Estonia is striving to break away from fossil fuel and is also working towards achieving the EU's the goal of climate neutrality by the year 2050. Japan accounts for 3% and the EU for 7.5% of the world's total greenhouse gas emissions. Japan and the EU have agreed to establish a green alliance at the Japan-EU summit held in May of last year. Under this agreement, Japan, together with the EU, will be promoting cooperation in various fields such as energy transition and innovation, accelerating the invasion of measures for fighting climate change and leading the international community. Dear participants, in the field of energy transition, it is essential to make the energy systems reliable and sustainable, while balancing the economy and the environment, and to implement the 3E plus S, i.e. the energy security, the economic efficiency, and the environment plus safety. The nuclear power generation is one of the options for various energy-related matters, such as diversification of energy sources, fight with global warming, improvement of energy self-sufficiency rate, and energy security. It is also one of the key elements of 3E plus S, which is essential for energy transition. The Japanese government and the Japanese nuclear industry possess the world's best nuclear safety know-hows based on the importance of nuclear power in the 3E plus S emphasized energy mix and the lessons learned from the Fukushima accident. Japan, in cooperation with American and French companies, is making a significant contribution to construction and the innovation of nuclear power plants around the world. I am convinced that when Estonia makes a realistic and significant shift towards the use of nuclear energy, Japan's experience and technology will make our country an even more important and unique partner for Estonia. Lastly, I'd like to conclude my remarks with the hope that this seminar will deepen the knowledge and understanding of the use of nuclear energy and further strengthen the cooperation between the two countries. Thank you very much. Aita.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Matsumura. So let's move to the group photo session. Firstly, I wanted to invite the speakers come on the stage, please. Yes.